Good evening, everyone. Pardon my gym wear, pardon my post workout attire. But when you have an insight, when you have the privilege and the pleasure of hopefully delivering something that'll be valuable and palatable for you, I don't take that for granted. And I got to jump on the horse when it's ready to go. And tonight, I have something I wanted to share. This idea was birthed out of a quote I came across and then subsequently from a scripture that I read. I'm going to bring it all together and I want to share this idea for those of us who may be similar to me who want quick answers, quick responses, quick results. You know, it actually saddens me that there are entire segments of industries built upon taking advantage of people, unaware people, by pitching the ideas of getting rich or getting quick results. There's tons of online gurus pitching their get rich quick schemes, get rich quick in real estate, get rich quick in day trading stocks, get rich quick in crypto, get rich quick in an online business, e-commerce, get rich quick. There's prosperity gospel pastors pitching their get blessed quickly messages, and people in the weight loss and fitness industries dangling the idea of get fit quickly to those who are insecure about appearance or weight and just want a way out and want something fast. The suppliers understand the nature of humanity, understand the nature of consumers, and they realize that people in pain are prone to be more vulnerable to impulsively taking action on something that they think will provide them a quick solution. Let me put it another way. When you're hurting, you want a way out. You become a consumer to businesses and people who believe if they can present and package a solution to you that sounds like it'll help you get out of your pain and your problem quickly, they believe they can secure you as a customer, secure you as a client or a money paying somebody. It's frustrating because oftentimes those people are the most vulnerable in our society. But I'm a believer that rapid change to our conditions can occur exponentially, but rarely does it occur overnight. I believe that, and we'll talk a little bit about this as you are aiming towards something. If you have recognized the severity and depth of your problem and you're pursuing a solution, I believe that you can experience change not just arithmetically, is that the right word? Not just by addition, but by multiplication. You can experience rapid, accelerated change, but rarely do we see something just rapidly, drastically change overnight and that change be sustainable. So, when it comes to this get rich quickly, get blessed quickly, get fit quickly, be very leery of those who are selling quick, drastic, overnight results. The reality is they're probably more interested in lining their pockets than they are actually helping you solve your problems and overcoming your challenges. The Bible has a lot of wisdom to say about things like this. There's one particular proverb I came across that was very clear, very pithy, very memorable about resisting the luring guise of these get rich quick schemes. The English Standard Version of Proverbs 13:11. I'm going to read two different versions of Proverbs 13:11. The English Standard Version, the ESV, if you are familiar, says, "Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it." The Christian Standard Bible says, "Wealth obtained by fraud will dwindle, but whoever earns it through labor will multiply it." You see the differences in the verbiage? Do you see the similarities in the verbiage? Overall, the message is very clear. If you get it quickly, it probably goes quickly. If you earn it slowly, it's more likely to help you reach your long-term goals. If it's kind of, I like to call it slow earn, slow burn. Slow earn, slow burn. The thing that takes forever and a day to plant some, and I think using the plant as a great example, the seed going into the ground. If you simply stare at the seed and want it to become a plant or a tree or a plant that produces more fruit overnight, you're going to be very disappointed. But the law of seed time harvest continues to persist year after year, generation after generation, decade after decade, right? Because oftentimes that's how things work. It's not the overnight, get rich quickly things that provide lasting, impactful change. It's the little by little, it's the overtime, it's the labor, consistent labor we put in over time. And it's funny because the Bible has this to say about it, but there are plenty of worldly, earthly teachings that line up in parallel with this very idea. It lines up with what it's saying here. There are other things that I've found, and I actually came across a quote I was listening to on a podcast recently. I like to listen to content about wealth building, and this particular podcast guest had something very interesting to say. I kind of want to read what I noted here. He said that wealth is kind of like a springboard, or like a what do you call those things that the kids jump on? The trampoline. Wealth, the principles and momentum of wealth can be well illustrated in the form of a trampoline. In the beginning, you save and you invest, and it doesn't look like anything is getting anywhere. It doesn't look like anything is happening. And you're putting this money in, and you're seeing you stack money on top of the money you already put in, but you're not rapidly, immediately getting to the goal. But what's actually happening is that your early efforts are applying pressure to the springs. Think about a trampoline. How do you go highest on a trampoline? You apply downward pressure to the springs. And at some point, the tension causes the surface and whatever is on the surface to spring up. He's saying, think about a trampoline. What's happening is your early efforts are applying downward pressure on the surface of the trampoline of the springs. But eventually, the pressure applied will cause the springs to thrust momentum back up in the other direction. It takes patience, it takes discipline, it takes perseverance. And oftentimes that's what's happens. Those who become, however you want to define successful or wealthy or rich, if you will, and there's a difference between rich and wealthy, but those who become wealthy can often attest to the power of time and compounding. Perhaps whatever vehicle or method they got wealthy in, they can tell you about the days, the months, the years where it wasn't working and they wanted to give up and they thought they had made a foolish decision. And then it turned one day and all of a sudden they saw exponential change and growth. Or you can look at how people put money in their retirement accounts and the growth in the account looks very minimal in the first 5 to 10 years. And then after 10 years, they get to that 10, 15, 20, all of a sudden they're like, whoa, these dividends are really coming through. This interest is really kicking in. And it is a result of the time the tension on the springs was pushing down and all of a sudden, boom, it thrusts in the opposite direction, in the direction of your favor. And there are other proverbs in the same chapter that talk about the value of diligence, working diligently. That is a part of the key. I told you earlier, as it pertains to Proverbs 13, it's not the hasty, fraudulent, get rich quick that gets you where you want to go. It is laboring over time. It is being diligent and watching what you put in multiply and produce a harvest. If you want to have fruit to enjoy, you have to put in the work and put in the work diligently. It takes time and endurance. So as I close out here, I don't like to hold y'all long. There is a book I enjoy reading. I'm probably going to go back and read it again. I've read it several times. It's one of my favorite books about wealth building. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a fictional story. And in the purpose of the book is to teach these financial principles. For example, If you're going to budget or structure your financial strategy for your month or for your year, make sure you arrange money for what you need, make money for what you want, and then keep 10% to the side. If you're a person of faith, that 10% should be toward giving, generosity, or, should be toward something else, savings, right? The purpose is you need to take into the account that you will want to spend money on things you want, and that's okay. Don't just designate or budget money for what you need. Consider the fact that you're going to want things, and how much are you willing to spend on what you want. Build that into. So that's one example. But one of the principles I really liked was about managing risks. And in the book, it tells this really short parable. There's a parable within the story, which is an allegory. It's not an allegory. It's just a fictional story, but it's a parable in the story. And he talks about a guy who got a little bit of coin, he got a little bit of money in his purse, and then he meets a man who says, "Hey man, in another nation, I'm putting some money into this business, and they're gonna create some sort of transportation thing, and if you put money in, I'll get you your money back in a year or two." And the guy foolishly gives him the money, and he leaves and he never comes back. And the teaching is about managing risk and protecting your assets. We talked about the get rich quick. We talked about oftentimes the people who are proposing and presenting get rich quick, get fit quick, get blessed quick. They are worried about lining their pockets. They're not concerned about your well-being. They will take your money and go in an instant. Those people you have to protect yourself from. Because think about it, if you're laboring little by little, putting money in little by little by little, and getting marginal returns, if you gave the majority of your savings or investments to one person, they stole it all, that's years of losses that it's going to take a long time to recover and get back. So what are one of the ways you can experience vast gains? By avoiding vast losses. And one of the ways you do that is by recognizing the truth found in Proverbs 13:11. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. I just want to close out by encouraging you guys to use your discernment, evaluate opportunities you come across with wisdom, speak to wise counsel, and realize oftentimes, even the people who you think got big, got rich overnight, they put so much time in the dark room. They put so much time and energy and effort in private that positioned them to benefit from all the investment and the labor, the little by little labor that they put forth. You don't really often know what people did behind the scenes to get them in a position of the allure and the fame and the wealth and all those things that we see with our eyes in front of the camera or online. So just think about that. If someone's presenting something to you that's too good to be true, do your research and figure out if in fact it is. And oftentimes the way to the lasting, sustainable success is the slow earn, slow burn process. I hope this blesses you guys. I hope you take it with you and allow it to ring and resonate in your mind as you go forth. And we'll talk again soon. Take care.